The screening test areas are on the left side and right side of our event center. It will be open up until 7:30, so you can proceed there, and this is absolutely for free.
Absolutely.
All right, before we proceed on, we would like to call on, right now, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Hubert Ramos, Master of Clinical Audiology. And of course, we will be proceeding on with more of the information here this afternoon for all of those who are watching. Can we please give a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, to Mr. Hubert Ramos.
Pleasant good afternoon to everyone. So first, thank you very much and congratulations to Earaccess for choosing the Philippines for their launch. Okay. So I'm here to supplement what Dr. Martinez mentioned a while ago. So you did learn a lot about what is hearing loss, how someone or how do people becomes or how does people become hearing impaired and how is their hearing affected. For my presentation, okay, I'll focus more on children or individuals or pediatric patients, okay, as the effect of hearing loss for pediatric or for children is much more dramatic, okay, or as I may say, much more dramatic compared to those adults, okay. So to start off, let's start with the statistics, okay. So, according to a study which was done by the Philippine National Ear Institute through Dr. Charlotte Chong, okay, it is said that at least 8 children, okay, are born with profound hearing loss in the country. If we look at it, so there's one deaf baby born almost every 3 hours. Okay, so just looking at the statistics, okay, we would already recognize that hearing loss is a public health concern. The problem with hearing loss is that it is an invisible disability or a problem which cannot be seen. So that means babies will be born, babies will grow up, babies will say age up to around 1, 2, or 3 years old without the parents detecting that they have a hearing problem. Okay? So if a person, if a child was born with profound hearing loss or has hearing impairment, what negative effects would happen? Okay? Children with hearing impairment, okay, will experience some form of language delay. So once a child was born with hearing loss, since there are no input signal, then we don't expect them, okay, to have any output. Same thing as with us adults, if you cannot hear anything, then we don't expect them to develop speech and later on be able to form formal language. Next, since they have difficulty speaking, since they have difficulty communicating, then it is also expected that they may suffer from psychosocially due to feelings of isolation and low self-esteem. Since majority of them are unable to express themselves, okay, then we expect them to have some difficulty in terms of communicating how they feel. Usually when I talk to parents, I would tell them, or I would equate the situation to those individuals who are born to parents of OFWs or those working overseas. Imagine those children with parents who are working overseas. Many of them would complain that their children have veered away from what's the usual, mainly because there's not enough guidance. More so for those children with hearing loss, because since they do not have any access to speech, since they were not able to develop any language, their parents are unable to guide them through life and unable to provide them with the necessary information so that they'll be able to lead, okay, a normal life. Now, apart from those who were born with hearing impairment or hearing disability, okay, we also have this situation wherein children who were born with good hearing acquires hearing problem mainly because of infection or some form of disease. Among children in the school-age population, it was estimated based on a study done by the American Academy of Audiology that there are at least 9 per thousand school-age children having hearing loss or hearing loss which may affect their ability to perform in class. And of that, at least 14% of school-age children have some form of permanent or temporary type of hearing loss. So, here in the Philippines, in a survey conducted by Better Hearing Philippines, there are at least 24% of children, or the general population, having some form of hearing loss, mainly because of ear diseases like ear infection, otitis media, or impacted cerumen, which are generally preventable. As what Dr. Martinez had mentioned a while ago, for individuals with such problem, they normally develop what we call a conductive type of hearing loss, which can be prevented by constant ear follow-up with your ENT doctors. Okay? Now, the problem in the country is that though we have a law requiring